in 3rd grade, for reasons I don't exactly recall, I felt I needed to come up with a phrase that explained the meaning of life in 10 words or less. I remember thinking that love had to be integral to this phrase. I mean, how could it not, right? So I came up with this. Life is learning to love. 5 words, I thought. That's it! Life is learning to love. And the more I reflected on this, naive and unjaded as I was, the more I began to test my theory and expand upon it. Sure, life is learning to love yourself, learning to love others, your community, your world, your dog, your parents, and even your annoying little sister. Being a preacher's kid, we had to, of course, think about God and Jesus. Seemed kind of sacrilegious to think that you have to learn to love God or Jesus. But then again, how could he have let our neighbor's puppy die by getting hit by that motorcycle last summer? So I reflected, maybe we did need to learn to love a God who could let that happen. Theory still intact. But then there was this Jesus talking about loving our enemies. For real? I'm not sure I could ever love Mr. Fitzhugh, the vice principal at Sally Curtis Elementary School. I'm sorry, Jesus, but you may love him, but I've gotten spanked by him with a big board far too many times just for talking in class. I don't think I should have to love Mr. Fitzhugh. It was reasonable to love my dog, Ketchup, my best friend, and Mad Magazine, but loving one's enemies? That was going to take some serious work. But maybe that's why it had to be the meaning of life, because it was hard, and it might take you a long time to master. At age 11, my understanding of love was tested again. It was 5th grade, and I didn't understand the concept at all, but everyone was talking about going steady. My best friend, Roy, was going steady with Christy. I thought, that must be something I should do too. So I made some inquiries and passed some notes. But all of this research seemed to indicate there was no girl who wanted to go steady with me. While I was mildly disappointed, that wasn't a huge deal. Roy was taking walks with Christy and eventually held her hand. But to be honest, it didn't really seem all that interesting to me. A month or so later, my landscape completely changed. In a 24-hour period, there were unexpectedly 2 girls who wanted to go steady with me. So I did what seemed logical. I asked them both to go steady. I was very happy with this decision. I was going to learn to love in stereo. I felt richer. I felt more liked than ever. I mean, there were also twice as many girls to like back. What could possibly go wrong? I was so excited when I got home that I ran and told my mom. She must have made a funny face or something because I asked her, what's wrong? Well, how would you feel if Wendy or Melissa had a second boy that they were going steady with? I get it. And I did. With the weight of my folly bearing down upon me, I committed to going to school the very next day and immediately breaking it off with Melissa, the second girl I had asked. First come, first served, right? Seemed fair, and it felt good, like I'd done the right thing. Later that day, I told Wendy what I'd done. Now I was hers and hers alone. And that's when she told me she was going steady with Mark Layton. I was crushed. I didn't have the language skills to try and explain that I'd made a terrible mistake. I just wanted to go steady with her. So I ended it. In the space of 2 days, I went from 2 girlfriends to 0. I was to remain unsteady for another 6 years. 2 years later, when I was 13, my parents called us in from playing outside during a hot, muggy Texas summer afternoon for a conference at the kitchen table. When my sister and I sat down, they told us why we had gathered. My immediate response was silent relief that I wasn't in trouble. My second response was, what? You're getting a divorce? I was in shock. also remember thinking that, well, if they don't love each other, then I guess they probably shouldn't meet again. Still, my family was breaking up. My sense of a safe, protected world was dissolving. It was 1974. Divorce was extremely rare in our small Texas town, and especially awkward in a minister's family. I went to live with my dad, my sister went to live with my mom. At age 16, 3 years after my parents' divorce, my father divorced me. He died, never really forgiving me for being a typical teenager and not liking his second wife. Ouch, right? My relatively young philosophy of life was being sorely tested. Life is learning. Love can break. The years rolled by. During college, I read, I studied, I partied, I loved, but my understanding of love did not really grow much over the next decade. It seemed mostly informed by superstition, urban legend, and myths coming from Hollywood, pop music, and contemporary Western culture. Myths like, love never happens if you look for it. True love is unconditional. Love is a feeling that sweeps you away, and one of my favorites, love conquers all. I remember being deeply enchanted by Richard Bach's book, Bridge Across Forever, where he waxed poetic about the concept of soulmates. Supposedly, there was this one person out there just for you, your spiritual twin. It was so appealing because it explained why I had no long-term success in love. I just hadn't met her, the one, the soul mate that was going to make it all make sense. And then I did. I was in my late 20s, living in Tokyo, and it was love at first sight, the first time I ever saw her face at the Hard Rock Cafe. We had this deep spiritual connection, a powerful emotional bond, and plenty of romantic chemistry. All I wanted to do was be together with her for the rest of my life. She had to be my soulmate. She believed in soulmates, and unconditional love, and magic. It felt like our connection, our relationship, would last forever. It didn't. It lasted about 4 years. It was heartbreaking, like nothing I'd ever experienced. It felt like the death of love to me. I tried everything I knew to hold us together, but I was unsuccessful. I learned the hard way, love doesn't conquer all. It takes two people to make a relationship work, and only one to allow it to fail.
Turn down the
It didn't seem fair. It seemed like some cruel cosmic joke. Was it because my definition of love was too big? Did I expect too much? Was there something wrong with me? Or was my definition of love too small? I moved back to California in the late 90s, and I started reconstructing my life. And I was fortunate enough to finally meet that mentor I had been searching for my whole life. She was the first person to see that I needed a deeper, more honest and mature definition of love. She was a writer and a philosopher with a 25-year successful marriage and 2 well-adjusted adult kids. We talked for months just about love, what it was and what it wasn't, and she seemed to agree with the thing that had haunted me for so long. Love was something that we all longed for, yet had little competency in. And so we blundered from hurt to hurt, feeling inept and damaged by our honorable attempts at it. She suggested I read M. Scott Peck's book, The Road Less Traveled, and I did. It profoundly changed my life. I began to test his supposition that love is not an emotion. It's not a feeling. It's a choice. Choice? Love is a verb, not a noun. Peck identifies all of those powerful things that we feel at the beginning of a relationship as infatuation. It's fun, it's beautiful, it's exciting, and as he says, it gets us through the doorway to commitment. But by its very nature, it's temporary. It cannot be sustained. In fact, it's the fact that we have to work at love once the infatuation wears off. That we have to tend the relationship, just like a garden, that creates meaning in long-term commitment. So I started working with this new definition of love. As my attachment to Hollywood and pop music images faded, I found myself more interested and engaged again with the work of love. And that's just about the time I met the true love of my life. And she was open to this new definition of love. Now, in all fairness, there's always a bit of luck involved when you search for a life partner. I finally had luck on my side. But I'd also found someone who was equally curious about a deeper understanding of love and long-term commitment. Someone who was ready to see love as an act of will, a choice to extend oneself towards a significant other, to create intimacy across the divide. We both had myths and superstitions to let go of. There was magic to meeting each other, but there was also intention. So that whole thing of, if you look for love, you'll never find it, gone. We both looked for love, and we found someone of integrity who was also looking for love. We also let go of the notions of unconditional love, because healthy love has conditions. Conditions that involve respect, integrity, honesty, and empathy. Unconditional love may come from a saint or the notion of God, but it has little value in a healthy marriage, other than to mislead us or let us feel that we're always falling short of it. As we let go of our shallow, cultural understandings of love, the space that was created allowed a truer experience of love, an on Golden Pond kind of love. A lifetime of love for the first time seemed possible. And from that came marriage and the intention to create family, which led to the birth of our son, who lit the chalice today. Parenting was another kind of deep, mature love that we were treated to upon his arrival. But there was still something missing for us as a family: community. We hadn't really found our tribe, our extended family, at least not until we walked into this sanctuary a little over 6 years ago. And that's when we found you. That's when our definition of love expanded again. As Unitarian Universalists, we were affectionately dubbed the love people by the media during our Standing on the Side of Love campaign. I like to think of us that way. We avoid dogma, we avoid one specific religious text as our source of wisdom, but we do not avoid love. I would like to suggest, however, that we actually do have a unifying source of wisdom that informs our thoughts and actions. It's the gospel of love. We use love. It inspires our values, integrity, compassion, and action. If we ever do have a holy book, I think it should be called the Gospel of Love. To me, this is what love looks like when you send it out in the world. It's when we see what needs to be done to make our world a more just and loving place, and we do it. It's when we open our doors to those who have no place to sleep. It's when we give our time, our money, and our resources to ending unnecessary suffering, pain, and injustice. It's when we humbly stand beside those fighting for fairness and equality. It's when we hold each other through our joys and our sorrows, supporting each other through our beginnings and ends. If life is learning to love, then I'm all in. If love is a choice, then I choose love. I'm proud to be in a community with each and every one of you love people. I'm honored to be part of a society that knows love and enthusiasm are not the enemies of intellect. With hearts and minds in tandem, I believe we can change the world. If we hold and we help each other to be the highest versions of ourselves, then I believe we will be the most loving versions of ourselves. I want to get up every morning and choose love. It's hard. It's really hard. It's work. There are a lot of people out there that are difficult to love. But I want to remember as often as possible throughout the day that I want to live from love. And I have you to remind me. I need your help. I need your help to be the very best version of me that I can be. I want to continue to stand in your company, inspired by the gargantuan hearts I have seen in all of you. They say you're affected by the people you hang out with. Well, I want to be affected by you. You inspire me, challenge me, and love me, flaws and all. I cannot express how much that means to me. Thank you for being my living word, my word of love, my gospel of love, my higher love. Blessed be